So hard to watch. We are continuing to follow the latest on last night's deadly shooting at that Las Vegas music festival.
Straight ahead, what authorities are saying about the shooter, and we're now hearing from Coachella Valley residents who were there when this all went down.
Americans are in shock today as they learn more about that massacre in Las Vegas. The attack now on innocent concertgoers last night is now the worst mass shooting in U.S. history. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bianca Ray.
I'm Jeff Stahl. Here's what we know right now. At least 58 people are known dead, another 500 people plus injured. Among them, a Riverside County Sheriff's Department employee. The American flag outside the White House has been lowered to half staff today, along with several others, all lowered. Danya Backus is in Las Vegas with the latest on the tragic events.
Terrifying gunfire on what started as a peaceful night of country music on the Vegas Strip.
I heard it. Boom, 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 boom.
Blast of automatic gunfire, bullets flying into a crowd of 22,000 concert goers who were enjoying a country music festival with superstar Jason Aldean.
People just started dropping around us. A lot of dead bodies. A lot of people were just piling on top of whoever, even if they're bleeding or not.
A high wall enclosing part of the concert venue.
There was no escape. We were just pinned in. It was just a kill box.
So many people shot and wounded.
A gentleman that was shot, and he said, "Can you help me?" And so I put him in my car, and I had like 6 people in my car, people with out shoes.
Police jumping into action.
This one police officer, he just was so brave. He was like jumping over the fence, like to go fight this, like to take on this guy. And I'm like, oh my God.
Police say the gunman, 64-year-old Stephen Paddock, sprayed bullets from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. There to breach Paddock's hotel room with explosive devices.
Breach.
Authorities say he was already dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
The number of people that have died associated with this event has increased. Right now we're using the number of 58.
A gentleman that was shot, and he said, "Can you help me?" And so I put him in my car, and I had like 6 people in my car, people with out shoes.
Police jumping into action.
This one police officer, he just was so brave. He was like jumping over the fence, like to go fight this, like to take on this guy. And I'm like, oh my God.
Police say the gunman, 64-year-old Stephen Paddock, sprayed bullets from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. There to breach Paddock's hotel room with explosive devices.
Breach.
Authorities say he was already dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
The number of people that have died associated with this event has increased. Right now we're using the number of 58.
President Trump reacting to the tragedy.
It was an act of pure evil.
Police say this does not appear to be a terror attack, but say it is a lone wolf attack. Danya Backus, ABC News, Las Vegas.
Now we are hearing from a number of local residents who were in the line of fire in Las Vegas last night. News Channel 3's Jeremy Chen joins us live in studio with some of their stories and very emotional recounting of this tragedy. Jeremy.
Well, Jeff, all morning I have been speaking with people from around the Coachella Valley who were at the concert when the shooting happened. Nearly all of them saying the initial gunfire sounded like fireworks or firecrackers. Now, this video is from Ashley Galaviz of La Quinta. This shows a snapshot of the terror on the ground at the concert venue during the shooting. An Indio resident, Leticia Casillas, was there and became emotional as she spoke to me. She described the horror she saw on the ground and the chaos that followed.
There was just bodies everywhere, and it was just terrible. It was terrible. I know before when I was pushing the girl to see if she was okay, I looked up and I could actually see like light coming from a window at the Mandalay Bay, but I didn't know what it was. And it was terrible.
Casillas says no one in her group of friends and family were hurt. They are headed back home to India. And we've also learned today at least several Southern California police officers were injured, including one Riverside County Sheriff's employee and an off-duty member of the San Bernardino County Fire Department that was injured in the attack. Now, coming up at 12:30, an Indio man describes the initial gunfire and how it was unlike any gunfire he had heard before. Live in the studio, Jeremy Chen, News Channel 3.
Okay, some 20,000 people in that concert festival crowd. So many targets, and of course, do stay with News Channel 3. We are following this. Thanks, Jeremy.
Now, we also have a crew on the way to Las Vegas right now. They are just about a half hour away. News Channel 3's Joe Galley is with our live mobile newsroom on the freeway right now about Prim area. Joe, such a devastating story, hit so close to home too. We know there's a lot of desert locals out there in the desert to our north.
That's right, Bianca. I've been talking with people on the phone as we've made our way from the Coachella Valley to Las Vegas, making the pit stop here in Prim. And I have seen people at rest areas, and I've talked to some folks over the phone, and they're just reiterating the chaos and confusion that happened last night when those bullets started to fly. And some folks were telling me, as we've mentioned before, they didn't even realize it was gunfire. They thought it was fireworks. But people have described an absolute panic stampede as the bullets started to rain down, and strangers coming to the aid of other people who were injured, taking off their shirts to try to stop the bleeding as people were trying to also flee from their lives. Now, while we were driving, we made a pit stop in Kelso. We ran into a Cathedral City couple who left that concert just minutes before the bullets started to fly. They were leaving. While they were leaving their hotel, they talked to other concert goers who were in the line of fire.
It sounded like fireworks, and he thought, you know, how rude, the guy just started his act and somebody set off fireworks. And then they finally figured out that it was bullets, and he said he looked up high and he said he saw a fire coming out of a gun, he said, out of that hotel room, he said, and he knew exactly what it was.
Now, we're about 30 minutes away from Las Vegas. We're right at the state line, and we've got a few other interviews lined up with some other local people who were also at the concert during the shooting. So stay tuned for those updates right here and online at KESQ.com. For now, reporting live in Prim, Joe Galley, News Channel 3.
And Joe, I know you're on the 15, just about a half hour away from the Strip. Are you seeing a lot of traffic going the other way, people trying to get out of town?
It certainly looks like the standard amount of traffic that you would see. I mean, it is following a weekend, people enjoying themselves in Las Vegas, coming back to home into whether it's Los Angeles or other parts of the Southern California area. But I have seen a couple of cars, especially in those pit stops that we saw in Kelso, some families gathering together, noticing that we were a news vehicle, purposely avoiding us. I could tell that they still had the wristbands from the concert, so you could tell that they were at least in some way close to what had happened last night, and they're still like really heavy in an amount of shock and disbelief in what they're dealing with.
Sure, totally understandable. All right, thank you, Joe. We'll check back with you in the next half hour. People mourning and just expressing their total, utter shock and disbelief right now on social media all morning long. We've been following it. Here's what some of our viewers had to say on Facebook. Loretta Nernagle wrote, "Pray for our country." Shaylin Coles wrote, "I'm literally in tears this morning, waking up to news from Las Vegas. Prayers for the families of those lost and injured. I work these music festivals all the time, and our country music fest here, in shock." And then Joshua Dingle wrote on a thread that was kind of getting a bit heated about gun control. He said, "It's time for prayers, guys. Enough with the politics."
Governor Brown is also commenting on the Vegas attack, issuing a statement this morning saying, quote, "Our prayers and deepest sympathies are with the families and loved ones of those killed and injured in last night's tragic and senseless shooting. And we stand with the people of Nevada in this difficult time," end quote. The governor says that Capitol flags will be flown at half-staff in recognition of the victims and their families today.
David Muir will anchor World News Tonight from Las Vegas. Stay with News Channel 3 as we continue to follow the latest on this breaking news, this deadly shooting out of Las Vegas. Our thoughts with everybody affected. We will bring you up-to-the-minute information on air all day long and online as well. KESQ.com.
Overseas, more terror in France. Police have arrested a man who stabbed and killed 2 women at a French train station. We've learned today that he had been arrested and released the day before that attack. ISIS claimed responsibility for yesterday's attack, the latest of several targeting France. Two police officials said that today the man did not have French residency papers and was detained for suspected shoplifting on Saturday, but then was released. The officials said that he was not on France's extremist watch list. The suspect was killed by police after the attack. The victims were cousins between the ages of 17 and 21.
In Catalonia, Spain, clashes between demonstrators and police left more than 800 in need of medical assistance. This as the people there of Catalonia took to the polling stations yesterday to vote in a disputed independence referendum. Spanish National Police raided polling stations and fired rubber bullets in an attempt to stop the vote for independence that the Spanish government said was illegal. Preliminary poll results showing 90% favored independence after under half the electorate vote. Now, today at noon, Spain's stock market and the euro are down amid concern over the potential impact of the Catalan independence vote.
We've got some winds, some cooler conditions as well around the Coachella Valley today at noon.
Here's Jerry Stefan now with your first alert forecast. Jerry.
Well, the winds have subsided drastically since this morning. Still a little gusty out of the west, and temperatures are noticeably cooler than the weekend. 85 degrees at Palm Springs, a sunny 86 at Cathedral City, 85 at Indio. Up north, just 70 at Yucca Valley. Dew points, relatively dry. A lot of 30-degree numbers around the valley with clear skies. A little bit of cloud cover to our west, but for the most part, nothing but sunshine this afternoon. And that trend will continue for the rest of the week, although the numbers will start going up. So if you like this cool stuff, today and tomorrow are your days. 91 degrees our forecast high today, dropping to the 80s after 5 o'clock. And overnight lows should be once again in the 70s. But like I said, we're going to warm up a little bit by the end of the week. Full forecast in 7 minutes, Jeff.
All right, Jerry, thank you. The Palm Springs aerial tramway is back open today at noon. It closed at the beginning of last month for that annual maintenance we've been telling you about, and then the reopening was pushed back, though, due to some delays. The vice president of maintenance says testing new track counterweight ropes and weather were responsible for the delays, but the tram is officially open. It went up today at 10 a.m. The tram's official snow guessing contest is underway. The first 10 entries get the correct date of snowfall, win 4 tram admissions. Can't believe it's already that time of the year. Well, we are continuing to follow the Las Vegas mass shooting today at noon.
Yeah, still to come, we're going to have the latest as police try to find answers and a possible motive for last night's attack. It left, again, more than 50 people dead.
Plus, it's been now almost 2 weeks since Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico. Still, a lot of people there, most of the country, without power. You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader.
Well, it's been more than 12 days now since Hurricane Maria hit the island of Puerto Rico. Most residents there are still without power because the island's grid has been decimated. Food and clean water also are in short supply. President Trump says federal workers are doing well and the island is slowly recovering. Serena Marshall has the latest.
Back at the White House, President Trump responding to the crisis in Puerto Rico.
We're getting a lot of things done, really at a record clip. So we're very happy with that, and I'll be going there on Tuesday.
The president's disaster management, including tweets. We've done a great job with the almost impossible situation, he tweeted. And another one accusing the San Juan mayor of poor leadership, writing, they want everything to be done for them when it should be a community effort. The capital's mayor responding to the president's ire.
There's only one goal, and it's saving lives.
In the small town of Juncos, tears as FEMA finally arrived.
Not enough. It's not fast enough. They know that. We know that.
President Trump heads to the island on Tuesday, and the mayor of San Juan tells us she has not yet been invited to meet with the president, but absolutely would if the invitation comes. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Now, FEMA's chief returns to Puerto Rico today. He's expected to give a first-hand update on the response and recovery efforts, further complicating an already difficult situation, though parts of the island are today under a flash flood warning.
O.J. Simpson is a free man today at noon. The 70-year-old Simpson was set free from a Nevada prison yesterday after serving 9 years for armed robbery. Now, during his parole hearing, he said he'd like to move back to Florida, where he had lived, of course, for about a decade. But we're told instead, according to a parole official, he's going to remain in Las Vegas for now.
Well, we are hearing from the Nevada shooting suspect's brother today.
Why he says he is still in shock that his brother could do this.
Let's go outside now. We'll look from our News Channel 3 Live Skycam up on Edom Hill. Sunny blue skies around the Coachella Valley.
Let's go back to Jerry now for a check of the weather.
Yeah, beautiful day today, cooler than it was over the weekend. Temperatures were at 102 on Friday, 101 on Saturday, 96 degrees yesterday afternoon, average is 94. We're going to be below all those numbers not only today, but again tomorrow. Full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader.
Now, live from the Desert's news leader, this is breaking news.
We are following more breaking news. An update now on a Riverside County Sheriff's deputy we are now learning was shot at that Vegas festival last night. The Sheriff's Department confirming to News Channel 3 today a deputy was shot at the Route 91 Harvest Festival. The deputy is said to be in critical condition. The department has one correctional deputy also injured but was treated and released. You stay with News Channel 3 for new information on this breaking news.
Now we are also hearing from the brother of the shooter, Joseph Paddock, today at noon. Paddock's brother lives in Orlando. He says he is in shock that his brother would do something like this.
There's not even anything I can say. I mean, how do you, I mean, my brother did this. This is like it was done, you know, like he shot us. I mean, I hope someone figures out, because we'd like to know.
A warrant was served at Paddock's home in Mesquite, Nevada, so FBI agents can investigate and clear the home of any explosives. Vegas Sheriff's deputies there say they believe Paddock had about 10 rifles Sunday night and killed himself in his hotel room before police got to him. Of course, that was on the 32nd floor of Mandalay Bay.
People are lining up in Las Vegas today to donate blood following last night's mass shooting. This was the scene earlier outside the United Blood Bank Services headquarters in Las Vegas. You can also help here at home. Live stream blood donors are being asked to help replenish the blood supplies that have been rushed locally to Las Vegas. Donating blood will help to ensure that we can assist with more blood as needed and continue to serve patients in our local hospitals.
Now, first alert weather with meteorologist Jerry Steffen.
Well, it was kind of gusty this morning. Winds out of the north and northwest were very strong, moving through the San Gorgonio Pass and through the Coachella Valley. But you can see in this 3-hour loop here, darker colors indicating the stronger winds. They've really let up over the past couple of hours. So not all that bad right now. As far as temperatures, very slow to warm up. 85 degrees at Palm Springs, 85 also at Thousand Palms, sunny, 82 at Desert Hot Springs, Indio 85 degrees, 70s up north. Yeah, nothing but sunshine over the valley right now. A little bit of cloud cover to our west on our visible satellite imagery. Radar, yeah, quiet as you might expect. And big picture here, not much going on over the southwest, really. We do have a trough of low pressure exiting the area very slowly. It brought us the cooler than normal weather today. It'll stick around tomorrow. Wednesday, maybe a little bit before those numbers start moving up by the end of the week. And a ridge of high pressure will begin building over the area, moving in from the south, and that will move those temperatures up and getting close to maybe about 5, 6, 7 degrees above average by this coming weekend. You'll see that in the 7-day forecast. Back to the winds. Now, later on today, they will get a little gusty. That onshore flow will kick in, and so we'll see winds maybe up to 20 miles an hour with the gusts, but not all that bad, and even that will subside by late tonight. Dew points dry, a lot of 30-degree numbers, and relative humidity in the low teens, not only today, but again tomorrow for the Coachella Valley. So not a whole lot of change. In fact, numbers may even drop a few degrees by tomorrow afternoon. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for the rest of today, getting to 91 degrees for a high today, dropping back to the 80s after 6 o'clock after sunset, steady into the 80s, and overnight low should be once again in that 70-degree range. Average high temp, 95 degrees. We'll get 91 today. Still staying cool tomorrow, Tuesday. Wednesday, kind of more of the same. Thursday, that's when that ridge really begins to build over the area, and we'll see temperatures beginning to move back up. So 96 degrees on Thursday. Friday, 98 degrees. And I know I said it last week, no more triple digits.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Yeah, I have to apologize for that. So 100 degrees Saturday and Sunday, but they go down after that again.
Some are saying not so fast.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Thanks, Jer.
Sure. Well, we are bringing you continuing coverage into last night's mass shooting in Las Vegas.
Coming up, 2 survivors are here with us in studio to share their story. We'll hear from them next. You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader. Welcome back. The country is watching in mourning and disbelief now after terror rang out in Las Vegas last night. So many people died. The count now up to 58, but so many people lucky to be alive right now. Hans Nicole joined us now. You're one of those people. You were there at the festival with your girlfriend. You just got in early this morning. Has it even sunk in what you experienced?
You know, I think it has. It's definitely traumatic.
certainly with all of the people that were injured and who lost their lives, the weekend was going very, very well. It was a perfect scenario until the shots started being fired.
So you're there, you're very close to the stage. You guys kind of moved on up a little bit. You had great seats. You were watching Jason Aldean perform. Take me to the moment that the shots rang out. Initially, when you heard the gunshots, it came into your mind. You think, was that a gun? Maybe it's somebody pulling a prank. That's the first thing I thought, was someone was just outside of the venue, maybe just trying to cause a disruption and just alarm people. So there was a pause for about a minute after that initial sound, and then it started up again, and it was even louder, I think even scarier. We kind of ducked down at that point. I was looking at the big screen, and I saw that it was actually having some malfunctions. So then I honestly thought for a second, maybe it's like a sound, audio video error. A tech issue or something. A tech issue. Yeah. But then I started to really hear the bullets zipping through nearby the stage, really close to us. I can hear some ricochet, and I can hear it kind of just clinking onto the metal areas and surfaces of the stage. And so we were really dropped down at that point. I mean, everyone laying on top of one another. So then, my next thought was there must be some sort of exchange between maybe the police, maybe this guy's on the ground. I knew it was coming from the direction of the right. I didn't know if it was coming from a hotel window. It did cross my mind, but I figured it's for real. We are being shot. At that point, I started to tell everybody, you need to get up. We got to make it over this barricade. The barricade was only several feet from us. It may have been 4.5 feet, maybe 5 feet tall. I don't know. So you were a bit of a leader there, kind of gathering everybody. I think, I guess so. Yeah, I think I started to initiate it. There were other people that had the same idea. They were trying to make their way toward, and I started telling people right there, let's get up, let's get over this barricade. We can't stay here. So I helped my girlfriend up, and she started to make her way toward. But there were people just frozen, and I'll remember one lady in particular. She was standing right in front of us, but just the look on her face, it was like she was just stuck. She couldn't think what to do next. So I said, "Come on!" I helped her up, picked her up. Somebody else, same thing, picked them up. Said, "Let's get on your feet. Let's get over this barricade." At this point, you didn't even know the killer had killed himself, had shot himself, right? I mean, you didn't know that the threat was over, even. Oh no! The bullets they continued to ring out. Right. It was pretty much incessant. Once we got over the barricade, we had to stay down low and duck, because there's a strange sensation that at any moment, a round would just go right through like my torso. Would it go through me? Would it hit her? I was anticipating that round to hit me, so I started to move along the path around the stage, and definitely everyone began to stampede at that point. I think the best thing would have been just for everyone to move out. And Hans, I know we'll hear from you more later on tonight, but we hear it all the time to hug your loved ones at night and appreciate the moment. And specifically, we hear that message in country music of all genres, right? How has this changed your life? Well, I'm not sure if we're going to want to attend any kind of event like that. It's something that's always going to be in the back of your mind anytime you're left open like that, and it's a shame. Just going to the gas station to try to get back to California, I was just extremely nervous just being outside of the car. And there was one guy, he had an open carry handgun on his hip, and I honestly say I felt a lot more at ease with him inside the convenience store. We went in there to get some water to gas up, and I thought to myself, good. We've got him in here at least. Scary that we have to feel that way, but Hans, thank you so much for sharing your story. We're glad both of you are okay, and you can hear more of their story tonight, News Channel 3, live at 5. We are continuing to bring you coverage of last night's mass shooting in Las Vegas. Stay right here with us on the Desert's News Leader.
Now, live from the Desert's News Leader, this is Breaking News.
His brother says the shooter there was not a normal guy and frequently played high-stakes video poker. We are continuing to follow the latest on that deadly shooting here at the music festival in Las Vegas.
We have up-to-the-minute details on how that tragedy unfolded and hear from some local residents who were there and more on exactly who that shooter was.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Jeff Stahl. We are continuing to learn more details about last night's deadly shooting again at the Route 91 Harvest Festival in Las Vegas.
And I'm Bianca Ray. Authorities saying the gunman opened fire from the nearby Mandalay Bay resort during that country music concert, killing at least 58 people, injuring more than 500 others. The Sheriff's Department now confirming to News Channel 3 a deputy shot is said to be in critical condition. Now the department also has a correctional deputy who was hurt being treated and released.
Today, the man behind the attack has been identified as a Nevada man, a resident there who lived just east of Las Vegas in Mesquite. Serena Marshall reports from Washington.
The window behind the terror. 32 floors up in the Mandalay Bay Casino. More than 200 rounds fired in just minutes.
All units on the 32nd floor. SWAT has explosive breach. Everyone in the hallway needs to move back.
Breach, breach, breach.
SWAT teams moving in on the attacker responsible for the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. A local identified
as Stephen Craig Paddock, 64 years old, a white male from Mesquite, Nevada.
Police say Paddock checked into the hotel 5 days ago. His motive still unclear.
We believe the individual killed himself prior to our entry.
How many weapons was he found with?
We are still going through the search warrant actively at this time, but it's in excess of 10 rifles.
A senior law enforcement official says there appears to be no ties to international terror groups, and he had no police record.
We don't know advanced planning. We don't know anybody he's talked to. He probably acquired the weapons himself.
The shooter carrying the idea of this woman, Mary Lou Danley. Police saying she was not an accomplice and was located out of the country.
He's just a lone guy doing this. And once he finished the shooting, he knew he was done.
The suspect's brother saying their family is dumbstruck.
We've been working with the Las Vegas PD all morning trying to make sense of this.
Among the more than 50 murdered victims,
one of my officers was off duty attending the concert and lost his life.
The city of Las Vegas tweeting out information for those still looking for their loved ones.
This morning, police executed a search warrant on Paddock's home in a retirement community, saying they found nothing out of the ordinary. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Now, we are continuing to hear from local concert goers who were there when the deadly shooting happened. News Channel 3's Jeremy Chen is live here in studio now with more from an Indio man who heard it all.
Well, Bianca, all morning I've been on the phone talking to different local concert goers, and for this Indio man, it was the sound of gunfire that is ingrained in his memory of that moment. Kevin Hare of India was at the concert with his wife when the gunshots rang out. They both took cover and were one of the last people to get out of the concert venue. Hare says the scene was like a war zone, and this is how he described the gunfire.
This is just repetitive. Till ran out of ammunition, and then another round of that, and then another round of that.
Hare says once they were able to get to their hotel room, they decided to return home back to the valley, foregoing an additional night, and they arrived back early this morning. And coming up, we're going to hear from a La Quinta woman who is a hospital worker and how she tried to help those who were injured in the shooting. Live in the studio, Jeremy Chen, News Channel 3.
All right, Jeremy, thank you for that report.
That Route 91 Harvest Festival is a popular country music festival weekend in Las Vegas. A lot of local residents were there to see it. Now, we've been in contact with more than a dozen people who escaped the attack last night. News Channel 3's Joe Galley is on his way to Las Vegas. We talked to him in the last half hour. We're going to check back in with Joe now with some Coachella Valley residents he's been talking to along the way. Joe.
Well, Jeff, this might sound a bit repetitious, but everyone seems to be telling that same story. They're there enjoying a wonderful concert, 3 days of great country music, and then all of a sudden the shotting out. It is chaos, it is confusion. People don't know where the shots were coming from, and a lot of people just scattering, trying to find shelter anywhere they possibly could, and that was few and far between. Now, I talked with a couple of people who said they initially thought those first shots were just firecrackers going off, but then eventually seeing all the other people around them having wounds on their bodies, having bullet wounds, whether it be on their chest or in their hand or all over. And then I've even talked with a few people who tried to take off articles of clothing and just to try to stop bleeding on other people who were also involved in that shooting. Now, on our drive into Las Vegas, we stopped in Kelso. I ran into a couple from Cathedral City. They were fortunate enough that they got in an Uber just minutes before the shots rang out, but they were talking with a lot of other concertgoers in the lobby of their hotel before they left.
It sounded like fireworks, and he thought, you know, how rude, the guy just started his act, and somebody set off fireworks. And then they finally figured out that it was bullets, and he said he looked up high, and he said he saw a fire coming out of a gun, he said, out of that hotel room, he said, and he knew exactly what it was.
Now we're just a few moments away from getting to Las Vegas. I'll go ahead and switch this camera for you. You can see down the highway, we're on the 15 right now, but over in the distance you can see that is Las Vegas, and that is the strip there, and we will be arriving there shortly. I've already arranged a few other interviews with some other folks from the Coachella Valley that are still in Las Vegas that were at that concert. You can see those stories coming up on KESQ News Channel 3 live at 5. Now reporting close to Las Vegas, Joe Galley, News Channel 3.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Yeah, some people decided just to come home after last night's experience. Others are still staying there in various hotels and resorts. Do stay with News Channel 3 for Joe's reports later today, right here on air at News Channel 3. Today, police are warning that identifying bodies from the shooting is going to be a long, laborious process. Stay with News Channel 3. We are continuing to follow the latest on this breaking news. A deadly again shooting out of Las Vegas. David Muir will anchor World News Tonight from Las Vegas. In the meantime, we're going to bring you up-to-the-minute information both on air and online at KESQ.com.
Well, let's get a check of the weather now this Monday at noon.
Jerry Steffen has your first alert forecast. A bit cooler, huh, Jerry?
Yeah, definitely. We have a front that's moving through the area. It's going to drop temps not only today, but the next couple of afternoons, but they start moving up by the end of the weekend. Right now, a very pleasant 85 and sunshine at Palm Springs, 87 at Cathedral City, Indio 86 degrees up north, still hanging in the 70s at Yucca Valley, Joshua Tree, and 29 Palms. A dry air mass is with us, so 30-degree dew points are going to be about the same tomorrow. But clear skies, only clouds you can find are to our west over the San Gorgonio Pass and the mountains there. Otherwise, plenty of sunshine, not only today, but for the rest of the week. 91 degrees our forecast high today, only breezy compared to the gusty winds we saw earlier this morning. But that'll change too. Temperatures start going up, and we'll stay in the dry, I guess, forecast for the next several days too. Full forecast and that 7-day with changes coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Jerry, thank you. The Palm Springs aerial tramway is back open today at noon. It closed, remember, in the beginning of last month for that annual maintenance we told you about. The reopening was pushed back due to some delays. The vice president of maintenance there says testing the new track, counterweight ropes, and weather all responsible for the pushback. But the tram is officially open today at noon. It opened up 10 a.m. today. And the tram's official snow guessing contest also underway. So the first 10 entries received with the correct date of snowfall. So the very first snowfall up in the mountain, you can guess it. And the first 10 with the correct number get 4 tram admission tickets.
A local business is getting ready for the holiday season and looking to hire dozens of seasonal jobs. Today, Brandini Toffee is holding a jobs fair. It's at its Ranch Mirage location. The business hoping to fill more than 4 dozen positions for retail sales, production, and events. Retail sales positions are available for all 3 locations of the store in Ranch Mirage, Palm Springs, and in Cabazon. The jobs fair is taking place this afternoon, 42250 Bob Hope Drive in Rancho Mirage. It's from noon until 5 o'clock. Wages start at $11.50 an hour. Applicants are encouraged to bring a resume. You can find all the details on our website, KESQ.com. Country music superstar Jason Aldean is talking about what he experienced during last night's shooting attack. Still to come, what he is now saying about the moment when he realized something was very, very wrong.
Plus, Marilyn Manson hospitalized after a prop at his performance fell on him. We have the latest on his condition this afternoon. You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader. We are continuing to follow breaking news out of Las Vegas today at noon. So far, 58 people were confirmed killed, more than 500 injured now in a shooting on the Las Vegas Strip that happened about 10:30 last night. It was during the Route 91 Harvest Country Music Festival. Jason Aldean was on stage near the Mandalay Bay Casino Witnesses say that Aldean was playing near the end of the concert when they heard what sounded like rapid machine gun fire. Aldean now recently posted on Instagram saying, quote, "Tonight has been beyond horrific. I still don't know what to say, but wanted to let everyone know that me and my crew are safe. My thoughts and prayers go out to everybody involved tonight. It hurts my heart that this would happen to anyone who's just coming out to enjoy what should have been a fun night," end quote. Stay with News Channel 3 as we continue to follow the latest developments on that mass shooting in Las Vegas.
Marilyn Manson is rescheduling tour dates after falling at a concert over the weekend, and it is back at the top of the weekend box office. Daria Albinger has today's Showbiz Wrap.
Marilyn Manson has rescheduled all of his tour dates up to October 14th following a fall at a concert in New York. Dramatic video surfaced of the singer tumbling Saturday after a prop fell on him. The show ended early and Manson was taken to a hospital. He will be recuperating at his home in Los Angeles. Former Dancing with the Stars contestant Winona Judd backstage in Maine one day after she canceled a performance because of a medical emergency. The country singer's condition was so bad that someone called 911 for help. EMTs arrived, but Winona reportedly did not want to be taken to a hospital. No word yet on what prompted the emergency.
My grandfather thinks this town is cursed.
The horror movie It is back on top of the weekend box office with an estimated $17.3 million in ticket sales.
You trust me?
No. Close behind with $17 million are two movies, the new Tom Cruise film, American Made, and last weekend's box office champ, Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Those numbers could change when the final tallies are released on Monday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Daria Albinger, ABC News New York.
We are following some breaking news. We are just hearing out of Los Angeles reports of some shots fired at the campus of the University of Southern California. Authorities are looking at Fertitta Hall. This is at the southeast corner of campus. It's next to Exposition Boulevard and Figueroa, just across from Exposition Park. Now, USC is reporting that police are searching that Fertitta Hall. It's on the campus. They say that the shots were reported but have not yet been confirmed. Still, the university is urging people to avoid that area. They are calling for those who are in areas to shelter in place until this threat has subsided. As you can see, a live picture overhead as police are circling from the air and also on the ground. As you can see, that is the California Science Center right there and the Coliseum at the top of your screen. This is the southeast corner of the University of Southern California, where there have been reports of shots fired, but no shots actually confirmed. Do stay with News Channel 3. We'll bring you new information on this breaking news as we get it. Two high school football players have been kicked off their team for taking a knee during the national anthem.
Coming up, why their coach is defending that decision.
National Hurricane Center said the 2017 September was the busiest hurricane season on record. Well, what about the Pacific right now? We're looking at one tropical wave off the coast of southern Mexico. Has a pretty good chance of becoming a tropical depression. It's moving its way to the west-northwest. And that over the next few days. For us, looks like it's going to warm up. Yeah, forecast and 7-day on the way. You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader.
We are following some breaking entertainment news today at noon. TMZ reporting Tom Petty was taken to the UCLA Santa Monica Hospital late last night from his Malibu home in full cardiac arrest, and we're told that he was placed on life support. The 66-year-old musician's current condition unknown today at noon, but again, TMZ is saying he was found unconscious and not breathing at his home. Again, Tom Petty, according to TMZ, in the hospital on life support today at noon. Stay with News Channel 3 for the latest on his condition.
Now, First Alert Weather with meteorologist Jerry Steffen.
Well, pretty nice outside right now, a little bit cooler than it has been over the weekend, and the winds that we saw this morning were really strong, but they backed off. This is a 3-hour loop, colors indicating some of the stronger winds. Darker the color, the stronger the winds. Really, this has let up considerably since this morning. Yeah, last frame there looks kind of quiet. Winds primarily out of the north, but then basically moving through the Coachella Valley from the northwest through the rest of the valley here. 85 degrees, that's at Palm Springs. 83, a pleasant day under sunshine at Desert Hot Springs. 87 at Indio right now. 70s up north. Mostly clear skies, nothing but sunshine over the valley. A little bit of clouds showing up on a visible satellite to our west and over the mountains. That's about it. We'll see nothing but sunshine the next few afternoons around the valley. As far as radar quiet and a dry weather pattern right now over the valley. Basically, we have a trough of low pressure exiting the area. That's what's ushering in the wind that we saw earlier today, and the cooler weather, which we'll experience today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. We begin to warm up as high pressure begins to nudge its way into Southern California. So the cool weather that we're seeing right now will come to an end by the end of the week. As far as winds later today, they will pick up a little bit with that onshore flow through the valley, but nothing crazy, just strong breezes through the valley, and even that will let up as we move into the evening hours. Dew points today, very dry, a lot of 30-degree numbers this afternoon, relative humidity in the low teens, not only today, but again tomorrow. Not a whole lot of change. We may lose a couple degrees tomorrow, and it looks as though Tuesday may be the coolest day of the next several. As far as numbers, 91 degrees, our forecast high. We'll sit there at 4 o'clock before the numbers begin to back off. 80s by about 5 o'clock. This evening, and then we'll see the temperatures bottom out in the 70s by tomorrow morning. But take a look at the 7-day forecast tomorrow. 89 degrees and sunshine, low 90s Wednesday. High pressure really begins to move the numbers up quickly, though. 96 degrees on Thursday, Friday 98, and I know I promised last week that we were saying goodbye to triple digits, but they're going to be around for one more week, and they think they like the Coachella Valley so much they wanted to stay one more.
Okay, hopefully this will be the last weekend.
Handle them. It's okay. This upcoming weekend will mark 1 year now since Palm Springs police officers Jose Gilvega and Leslie Zarevny both died in the line of duty. This week, we're going to be bringing you a special tribute, honoring their memories and the ultimate sacrifices they made. On Wednesday, News Channel 3 will take a look back at what happened October 8th of last year. For the first time, you'll hear from both of the officers' families and from other police officers in that department who responded that dark day. Plus, we will revisit the crime scene. Our half-hour special in the line of duty 1 year later airs Wednesday night. It's at 7 right here on KESQ News Channel 3. And here's a look at what's coming up tonight right here on KESQ News Channel 3 at 5. It's a News Channel 3 live at 5, followed by a full hour of world news tonight with David Muir. Don't miss a special edition as well of News Channel 3 tonight at a different time, 6:30.
And we can confirm that at this time that one was injured.
Tonight, live at 5, a local police officer was hurt in last night's deadly shooting in Las Vegas. How the department is planning to assist in the investigation. A look at stocks is next. Welcome back. We are continuing to follow the latest after that deadly shooting last night in Las Vegas. We know several first responders from our area were there at the concert hurt in the shooting, including a Riverside County Sheriff's employee and an off-duty San Bernardino firefighter as well. News Channel 3's Jeremy Chen is live in studio now with more from a La Quinta hospital worker who tried to help people during the attack. Jeremy, right?
Absolutely, and all morning I've been talking to her and other people from different areas of the valley, local concert goers, and this time I spoke with the La Quinta hospital worker, and it was the sound of gunfire that was kind of ingrained in her memory. But this is video from that woman, Ashley Galaviz of La Quinta, of that chaos that ensued during the shooting. This kind of shows a snapshot of the terror on the ground at that concert venue during the shooting. During the chaos, Galaviz says she tried to help an injured woman she saw on the ground.
Well, initially when I saw the young lady laying on the ground, my instinct was to run over to her. And I ran over to her and I just let her know, you know, I'm an MA, I work in a hospital, I know CPR, and I just threw my hands on top of her face.
Now, at least several Southern California police officers were injured, including an off-duty member of the San Bernardino County Fire Department and an employee with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. And coming up tonight, we're going to hear from another La Quinta concert goer who says she's concerned about safety at concert venues and may sell her ticket to Stagecoach. Live in the newsroom, Jeremy Chen, News Channel 3.
All right, Jeremy, thank you for that report. And finally, today at noon, let's recap everything we know right now about last night's deadly shooting in Las Vegas, bring you up to speed. 58 people are dead today at noon, more than 500 others hurt. The Sheriff's Department confirms to News Channel 3 a deputy shot is said to be in critical condition. The department also has a correctional deputy who was hurt but was treated and released. Now, as far as the suspect, 64-year-old Stephen Paddock, who fired those shots from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Resort. This was aimed at the Route 91 Music Festival. Stay with News Channel 3 for up-to-the-minute coverage on that mass shooting in Las Vegas tonight. News Channel 3 continuing coverage live at 5.
On Wall Street today, let's take a look at the markets before they close for the day. The Dow is up in a rally mode, 146 points. The Nasdaq is also up 17. The S&P 500 is up 8 points. Stocks hitting all-time highs. Healthcare stocks also leading that rise. Take stock of your finances on our website. They're right there on the money page anytime at KESQ.com.
And we've also been following another really sad story about breaking news we've learned about Tom Petty. TMZ was reporting that he was on life support in critical condition, and we're learning today at noon that he was pulled off. This is according to TMZ, pulled off that life support. Jerry, I know you're a big fan. Have you been following this at all? Anything else we're seeing on Twitter?
No, that's
right
about
now?
it right now. Yeah, very sad news. Tom Petty fan right here.
Yeah.
And that was just shocking to hear. He's only in his 60s, isn't he?
Right. Yeah. He was taken last night, found unconscious, not breathing. This according to TMZ, and then just recently, TMZ says pulled off life support.
He had no brain activity, they said. That's why they just made that decision to pull him off.
UCLA Medical Center, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no official word on his death, but a lot of people already saying how much they'll miss him because he's had so many great songs over the years.
Well, on a positive note, the weather is going to be cool the next couple of days, warming up by the weekend.
Okay. Thank you for joining us here on News Channel 3 at noon.
We're back tonight live at 5, everyone. Be safe. Have a good day.